Bring it back. Jump player played when Leps leaps into the air. Jump forward played when Leps leaps reaches his appendix and he starts to fall. Idle a loop play when Lep is idle. Jump wall a backflip animation play. Wow, when jump leap jumps off a wall. I want to try it. Does actually work? Does this actually do backflip? I don't know. I actually want to see him do a backflip. That's gonna be awesome. But it's not doing that. Okay. Okay. He does a backflip, which is awesome. This is wall jump. Jetpack jumping when overlaps jetpacks is slow and he's full. Leap jump, ledge jump, so play when that jumps off the edge of a platform. Butt stomp, play when jump is struck by a robot guard. Jump land, play when jump lands after a jump or fall. The mods and animations for Let's were created using Maya and imported using Unity. For more information about important meshes and animations, refer to Unity manual. Most of these animations are dealt with by the third-person player animation script, which checks the controls of the player is using and reacts accordingly. Some animations are laid over others, while others are simply queued up one after another. The script is mostly a set of messages, responder functions. The relevant messages are fired off by a third-person controller script, which reads the input devices and updates the character state accordingly. Lep's attacking move, his punch is dealt with in a separate script. Third person character attack. We add this script later. This mean this means this may seem as arbitrary split, but it is not. Most of the basic movement, running, walking, jumping, etc., are pretty simple, no matter what the player's character looks like. However, attacking and defense moves tend to be much more varied. In some platform games, the player's controller might have a gun. In another, he might perform a martial art move. In this tutorial, Leps is a master of the popular Western martial art known as fisticuffs, a name which translates to hitting your opponent very hard with your fist. The animation is a simple punching animation. Gizmos. Third person character attack. Okay. Yeah, third person character attack also includes a useful testing feature, a gizmo which draws a sphere to represent the area affected by Lep's punch animation. Gizmos are drawn inside one or two gizmo drawing messages handling functions. In this example, the gizmo wireframe yellow sphere drawn at the punch position is displayed in the area effect is drawn in response to the onDraw gizmo selected function. This function may be static and will be caused by the Unity editor itself. An alternative is onDrawn gizmo, which is called by the Unity editor every update cycle regardless of whether the parent game object has been selected. The jetpack. So we know that if he punches, it's his hips, it's his shoulders, head, shoulders, elbow, hand. Wow, look how much it goes into each finger movement. That is insane. Okay. Okay. Jetpack. At this point, our character is running and jumping around, but his jetpack is not yet. So that's how we're gonna get our first animation working, which is triggering. Okay, but his jetpack is not yet working. Let's use the jetpack to show his rate of descent. The movement is already in place, but the jets don't animate at all. To make the jetpacks work, we need to add two particle systems and a point light component. The particle system will produce the flame effects, while the point light will give the illusion of the flames acting as a source of emulation. I can't say it. Emulation. Ideally, we could have a point light source for each jet, but the jet exhausts are close enough to each other that we could get away with just the one. As lights are comparatively expensive, this is a handy. Okay. And what is a particle system? Particle systems implement Donaldson particles use flat 2D billyboards or sprites into the 3D world. Each particle is implemented at a set speed and velocity and lives for a certain amount of time, depending on the settings and billyboard materials used. These particle systems can be used to simulate anything from fire, smoke, and explosions to star fields. Adding the particle system. Use the game object menu to create an empty game object in the hierarchy panel. So go to game object and create empty. Rename the game object jet. So rename jet. With the new object game object selected, add a ellipso particle emitter, a particle and I can't say it, a particle animator, a world particle collider, a particle render. So we just have to add a load of stuff. Okay, so object component add. So we need to add an ellipson particle emitter. No. There we go. Ellipson particle emitter. We need to add a particle emitter. So go back to effects. Particle and animator. A world particle collider. A particle renderer. Uncheck the enable checkbox in the inspector of the particle render component. This will disable it temporarily. So for particle renderer, take it off. Next, position the jet directly below ellipse's left hand jet exhaust. So got the jet here. So he's right hand jet exhaust. So we're gonna put it here. I'm gonna move it here. Down here. Forward to me. So let's just do it by 3, right? So we're going from here, right there, right there, right there. So this is just under it. So there we go. Okay, so now we know that it's in perfect position. Okay, re-enable the particle renderer. Ooh, what is happening? That is weird. Seeing loads of particles. Don't know why it's in that day, but hey, okay. Adjust settings of the ellipse of particle emitter as shown below. So we need to go to here. I'm going to change this. So this has to be minimum size is 0.3. Maximum size is 45. Well, minimum energy is 0.2. So 0.2. Maximum energy is also 0.2. It's a lot less. Minimum emission, max emission is still 50. World velocity is all zeros. The y velocity, sorry, the local velocity is got the y on 0 minus 2.5. The R and D velocity is zeros. The emitter escape is 0.2. The tangular is all zeros. So the tangent velocity is zeros. Simulating workspace is off. Sorry, we got angular velocity here. Can't touch this. Simulating in workspace, take that off. World space and ellipson, you change that to 0.02 and same thing for all of them. That's cool. Something like that. It's just going to do that. Okay. There are certain results in a narrow stream of particles which were used to simulate a jet of flame. If the particles are not moving directly downwards, using use rotation tool to rotate object until the jet is moving in a line with the jet pack exhaust, which as we can see it is doing, which is perfectly fine. Okay. When you are done, the particles should be attached to the player's torso, child. So when you're done, the particle system will be attached to the player's torso, child objects in the hierarchy. This will cause the jet to follow the player's movement. At this point, however, we're primarily interested in getting it to look right, so don't worry too much about the accurate placement. The minimum size and max size settings define the size range of the particles. The minimum energy and max energy settings define the minimum and maximum lifespan of the particles. Our particles will live for only a short time, 0.2 seconds in this case, as you can see here, before fading away. So if we made it longer, let's say we made it 1 and 1, they last a lot more. So you can see that bounce off the floor. They last a long time. They don't go through, which is good. But as you see, they bounce. So let's bring back to 0.2. Oh, what did they do? Okay, let's just do it manually. 0.2. 0.2. Okay. We set the quality of particles to emit to 50. The minimum emission and max emission range defines how many particles we want on screen at any one time, and how variable these emissions should be. We could choose to set the minimum maximum emissions to similar values, and it will look like the jet is spun rather than blasting away smoothly. The result should be smooth flow of particles. Note, we disable simulating workspace here. This helps give the impression that we have a fast jet of gas rather than a smooth, slow flame, even though the particles aren't moving away that quickly. By making the jet ignore left twisting and turns, it looks similar to hot, steamy flames from a blowtorch. Now set the particle emission component set as shown. Okay, so now we need to close this. We don't need the emitter anymore. We need to go to here, the particle animator, which is this one. And then the colors we got 0, which needs to be 254. So 254 here for red. 255, 219, and 100 for A. that. So not 100. Is it 100? Right. Yeah, 100. Okay, so we'll close that now. I did not save that. Right. Okay, let's do that again. So we've got 254, 255, 219, and 100. Okay, that's the first one done. Second one we have 254, 255, 116, and 29. So we've got yellow here. This one we have is 255, 92, 0, 0, and 13. Then we have for number 3, we got 105, 63, 500, and 10. So just take the 8 off. Then we've got brown, and last of all, we got like a black. So we got 13, 15, 17, and 4. There we go. Okay, let's just go next bit. The particle animator will animate the particle's color as they age. The particles will start off white, darkening through yellow and orange as our virtual objects cause. Since we're going to be rendering a texture into each particle, the particle animator will be used to tint this particle, so the color animation will be subtle, but hopefully effective. The color picker dialog will appears, which appears when you click on a color, and also offers a I can't say it, opacity slider. The table shows. The table shown with the colors, color settings also includes this as by reducing of the opacity through the animated cycle. The particle flames will appear to fade away as they cool. A second. As they cool. The opacity settings modifies the alpha channels of the particle to find how transparent it is. The particle's material we use already includes a alpha channel information, which is then modified further by the opacity settings. Next is the particle renderer. This component draws each particle, so it needs to be told how the particle will appear. It also defines the material to use the particle to render each material. We want a flame-like jet effect, so we shall use the FireAdd material, which can be found in Particles, Sound, Materials, FireAdd. This asset is also included in the Standard Assets folder. State the component valued as follows. Okay, so we need to go to Particle Renderer, so you can drop that. Actually, we need to go back to this, don't we? One more thing. We've got Particle Renderer, which is at the bottom. Just go back to the top. What do you need to do again? We need to add effects. So these are all ticks. We've got 0 for camera, velocity scale, particle stretch is Billy board, length scale is 2, vertical scale is 0, max is 0.25. Don't have a light prob as well, I don't know. I got a light prob. we need UV animation, and we need to your fired. Let's put what this is around. But okay, to get that we need to go to particles in this view, sources, materials, and we've got fired. So there we go. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So now we've got fired right here. Okay, the stretch particle settings tells Unity whether the particles should be rendered stretched if they are moving at high speed. We want the particles to stretch a little according to the velocity. This adds a subtle visual cue and makes the small round shapes we use for this jet blended more into each other. Note, the cast shadows and receive shadow settings have no effect on us using a custom shader. This is an advanced topic beyond the scope of this tutorial. So if we try, you can see this now, we got fire. Just like that. Okay. Adding the light. Our jet looks cool, but it is what is really an illusion. Particle system just spit out lots of tiny images, but the resulting film-like effect does not emit light. To continue the illusion, we can create a separate point light game object. We switch it on and off at the same time as the jets. The result will be a jet of flame, which appears to light up its immediate surroundings. We will only use a single light rather than one light per jet. This saves processing power while manipulating our illusion. Create a new point light game object. So go to game object and we need to create another point light. Go. Name this jet light. Jet light and position between the two modified modeled jets on Depth's jetpack. We come back to our jet particle system shortly. This light will create an illusion that the jets are emitting light, so we need to put it in between the two modified jets. So we need to put it right there. So if we bring it all the way to here, bring it over here to me. Why is it all the way down there? Too much. That's all of it. Oh, I've got almost perfect. There we go. We've got a light. Okay, in between the two modified jets and Jet's jetpack. Oh, so it was the jets, not the actual jetpack. So it's down here. For this effect to work, we need a bright point light with its high intensity. Select the light and adjust settings as shown. So we go to light. On the right, we need to change the color to 255, 206, 155, and 100. There we go. Why no shadows? Shadows are compulsively expensive for most hardware. It makes sense to calculate them if we can avoid it. And this is one area where we can get away with it. The jets aren't too very big, so they only need to light up lerps back. The point light will also be reflected in nearby sceneries, but it won't be bright enough to make the lack of shadows noticeable. The next step is to update the character again, which to include our jet and light objects. To do this, we first add our jet to the project panel as a prefab. In the project panel, in the project panel, select the empty player folder, then click create. So I need to go into the project panel, select the empty player of here, and click create. From the journal list, choose prefab. This will create an empty prefab object. Rename the prefab jet. Drag our shiny new jet object from the hierarchy panel onto the new prefab. So this into Newton blue. Okay, the jet name in the hierarchy panel should turn blue to show that it is now linked to a prefab. We're going to need to use 2 instances of our jet for Jet's jetpack. Use a prefab means we can tweak both the jets by simply editing the original prefab. Delete our original jet object from hierarchy, but leave our jet light where it is. So we delete you. Now we can add the jet twice and the light once to our player. Go to the plate object in the hierarchy view. Open it up until you find the torso child object. So we've got torso. Torso child object. Drag the jet prefab object onto the object twice. This will create the 2 jet instances. So 1, 2. Rename the 2 jets instances jet L and jet R. So we've got this one, jet L, and then jet R. Okay. Drag the jet light onto the same torso object. So we've got light up here. Drag down to torso as well. So now we've got all 3 under there. Now you should know how the object hierarchy looks like, something like that. Yep. Use Unity's manipulation tools to position each jet program onto its respective jet outputs in JET's model. You may need to rotate them so that the particles are going in the right direction. Move the jet into a point between the 2. Okay, so we need to just adjust these guys. So, whoa, okay. You are definitely in the wrong place. So what if I do reset? This one is left, so we need to bring it to the left too. Bring it down, just under there. Just underneath there. Now we need to rotate it. So just use the rotate tool, so it makes it easier. Let's make it exactly 90 degrees. So it's directly down. So make sure it's in the right place. Yep. And same thing for the right. So I'm going to put it on a reset to bring it back down. Oops. Bring it down here too. Line them up. So that one's right there. Up there. That way, and run 90 degrees. So now we should have both the lights just working. I think that one needs to be moved a little bit more there. Yeah, very wrong place. That was right there. That one too. Okay, so now if I press torso, perfect. Okay, move the jet light to a point between the 2 jet prefabs. So point light needs to go all the way here. It's perfect ready. When you achieve this, let's now have 2 flame jets gushing up from his jetpack as he moves. We're almost done. And there we go. You now have animation working. That we can watch me myself. Now I work in jetpack, so if you like kind of like this. No. The final step is making jet prefabs and jet light object only when he is jumping. This achieved through scripting. Look for the jetpack particle light script in the scripts player. Scripts, let's see, scripts player. And drag it onto the most top player object in the hierarchy. So this one. So which one do we need? We need jetpack. Jetpack particle controller onto top of player. This adds a script to our player's character. You should now find that the jetpack works as expected. Script controls the 2 particle systems and the light, synchronizing them with jet's movements and triggering all these elements together whenever the player presses the jump button to jump or to show his descent. So there we go, it's not doing it no more, and only when I jump. Jetpack. But personally, I really want to make those jetpacks a little bit more stronger. It's energy, isn't it? Oh, more energy. Let's give it 7. Too much, I don't know. Looks better, more energy. But in fact, it doesn't look in the right direction, is it? It's pretty cool the fact that, yeah, it's perfect. Just a second. Okay, let's just see if we can turn it on and need it before. Yeah, okay, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5. 5, 5, 4, 5. 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. That way I can just reduce the amount it comes out. So There you go. Okay, you should now find the jetpacks work as expected. The script controls the two particle systems under lights, synchronizing them with Lep's movements and triggering all three elements together whenever the player presses the jump button to jump or to slow his descent. Blob shadows. Must be easy to identify at all times so that players won't lose track of their avatars when their game gets physically busy. Most of this work is up to the artists and the game's designer, but there are some elements that will need to be handled by Unity itself. One of the most important of these is shadowing and lighting. To aid performance, the elements of lighting are often pre-rendered into the textures by the artists when using a modeling package, a technique known as baking. This technique also works well on static objects such as set and fixed props. Where we are delivering this technique for this tutorial assets, and character walking under a street light needs to be react so that they are light in real time. The road beneath the character can be lighting baked in, but the character cannot use this trick and also needs to react to the lights. The solution to this is to position dynamic lights where they need to be if you use baked textures. Remember to add a light whenever one is implied by the baking lights, but make the lights only affect moving objects. Lights have already been placed in the scene for you. This leaves one final element, shadows, which I'm going to cover in a minute. So guys, I'll be right back.